students. You are welcome back to the online class after a very long holiday. We are back to economics class. I am still your teacher, Mr. Ade, and today we'll be looking at a topic, formation of a limited liability company. Remember, we are still talking about business organization, and we have talked about sole proprietorship. We have discussed partnership. We are discussing company. Remember, under company we have talked about private limited liability company and public limited liability company. Now we want to look at how these companies are formed. So that is the basis for today's topic, formation of a limited liability company. I believe that you will enjoy the class. So let's go. So the learning objectives, by the end of the lesson, students should be able to explain the steps involved in the formation of limited liability company. So we have formation of a limited liability company. We have a lot of steps to be taken when a limited liability company is to be established. We have about 5 steps, and we'll look at the steps one after the other. Step 1. The promoters devise a scheme of capitalization bearing in mind the cost of formation, assets to be bought, and working capital. The promoter is a person who originates the idea for formation of a company. So he looks for the capital, what it will cost them, the assets they need, and the cash they need to keep the business running. That's the step 1. The step 2, the promoter or promoters are required to secure the service of a solicitor. Since a limited liability company is a legal entity, so a solicitor is required, a member of a legal profession qualified to deal with legal matters need to be secured in order to help them in legalizing the business. And while this is done, there are certain documents that must be filled with the registrar of companies. The documents are Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association, Statement of Nominal Capital. We will deal with each of these as the lesson progresses. So, step 3. The documents are stamped and lodged with registrar of companies. After this document has been written out, approved, and stamped, they must be kept with the registrar of companies. Now let's discuss this document one after the other. The first one is what we call Memorandum of Association. What do we call Memorandum of Association? We all believe that a company cannot stand on its own. The company will stand in a society, in a state, in a country. So this company must have relationship with the society where it is. So the Memorandum of Association is a document containing the rules and regulations which governs the external relationship of a company with outsiders, their relationship in the society, their relationship with people that are not involved in the establishment of the company. Now, this document contains the following. 1. The name of the company, which must end with the word limited or PLC. Remember, limited is for private limited liability company, while PLC is for public limited liability company. B. The registered office of the company. Where is the company is to be situated? That is the headquarters of the company. Thirdly, that is C. The objectives of the company. What is the company set out to achieve? What is the company based on? Then we still have more. The amount of authorized capital and the various shares into which it is divided. Authorized capital is the capital that the company can raise. And how is this capital shared or divided into shares? We will discuss shares in detail later under the company. So let's continue. Then a declaration that the liability of members are limited. This is very important. Every members that will be involved in limited liability company must be assured that their liability are what? Limited. It means if in case of any problem or any liquidation, they will only lose their shares and not their properties. The next one, the names of the founders of the company. Yes, the names of those who have come together to establish the company must also be written in Memorandum of Association. Then the status of the company. Is the company a private limited liability company or public limited liability company? Number 2, under the document we call it Article of Association. This is a document which specifies the rules and regulations which governs the internal management of the company's affairs, the duties, rights, and powers of the shareholders. Now, this has to do within. Remember, Memorandum of Association is with the public, the society, with outsiders. But Article of Association is talking about the company affairs, the duties, the rights, and powers of the shareholders. Those within the company, that is internal management. Memorandum of Association is external management, but Article of Association is internal management of the company. Now, it contains the following. The first one, we have the method of issuing capitals. The method of issuing capitals. There are series of methods by which capital can be what? Can be issued. We will still discuss that later. So, we'll discuss that later in the lesson. Then, the method of holding meeting. How is the meeting to be held? Definition and powers. Definition of power and duties of directors. That is board of directors appointed by the shareholders. The right of shareholders. How directors are to be paid. Will each of the directors, board of directors being appointed by the shareholders be paid? It is documented in the Article of Association. How auditors are to be remunerated, how they are to be paid. Then we have the method of auditing the account of the business. That is the content of Article of Association. Then the next one we'll discuss is what we call prospectus. Prospectus is talking about an invitation to the public to buy shares. It's like when you are selling goods and you are advertising your goods for people to see. That's what we call prospectus. And prospectus is only used by public limited liability companies because they are the only ones that have the right to call the public to subscribe to their shares or to buy their shares. Private limited liability company does not do that. So, prospectus is the document used by the public limited liability calling the public to buy their shares, to subscribe for their shares. Now, what are the content of prospectus? The first one we see is particular of the company's past history. That is very important. If I am to venture into a business or to subscribe to shares or to buy shares of a company, I would like to know if the company has been making profit in the past. If the company happens to be a company that always runs into loss, then I have to keep my money in my pocket. Then we have information about the present position and future prospects of the company. What is the company now? What is the state of the company now? And what is the future expectation of future prospects of the company? This is also written in the prospectus. Then we have the amount of capital offered for subscription. Now that is talking about what portion of the authorized capital is the company ready to sell. We call it call up capital. Then we have the promoter's remuneration, the date of opening the list, that is the date people are coming to buy, the nature of capital offered for subscription, then we have the number of founders shares. Founders shares is a share that belongs to the owners, those people that come together to establish the business. Now, remember we just finished talking about step 3, now step 4. After going through the documents, the registrar of companies then issues certificate of incorporation to the company. Certificate of incorporation is what the document that confers legal status on a company to commence business. We will discuss it in this slide. Now, step 5. A private limited company can commence business after receiving certificate of incorporation, but public limited liability must be given certificate of trading before commencing business. So, remember step 4. It is giving of what? Certificate of incorporation. But immediately the private limited liability company is given the certificate of incorporation, they can start running their business. But a public limited liability company must wait until they get certificate of trading before they can start running their business. So now that will lead us to the definition of certificate of incorporation. Certificate of incorporation is a certificate that confers legal status on the business to commence, on the company to commence business. So the company that is private limited liability company can commence business immediately they are given certificate of incorporation. Then the last one we'll talk about is what we call certificate of trading. That is meant for the public limited liability company. It's a document which allows public limited liability company to commence business activities. So the public limited liability company need both the certificate of incorporation and certificate of trading before they can venture into business activities. So thank you for listening, and this is just what we have today. We will continue on this next class, and I believe you have learned 1 or 2 things in this class. Thank you for listening. God bless you. We shall meet next week by God's grace, and your question will be dropped in the class. Have a nice day.